Welcome back to Patriot Stadium for the site of today's boys lacrosse matchup between your Wayne Hills Patriots and the Wayne Valley Indians. I'm John Vitas, joined in the booth by Anthony Scudillo and John Giardello. So guys, after a victory for the Wayne Hills girls, the boys come in looking to do the same. And I hear that John Giardello has a injury report brought to us by Chilton Hospital. So John Giardello, what's going on with these injured Patriots?
Well, John, a bunch of key players for Hills have been hurt lately. Casey Cardux is still fighting the ACL injury he suffered during the football season. He won't play today. Chris Briselli broke his foot about 2 weeks ago. He won't play either. I've gotten reports that Alex Belgard has tweaked his hamstring, but he'll be playing today. And Doug Schweibel, the junior, is also having a calf problem. He's wearing a sleeve over it, so he's good to go.
Well, a lot of players banged up for Wayne Hills, and those losses and guys playing under 100% is certainly going to be a detriment to this team. Coming in with a 3-5 record, a disappointing season so far, Anthony.
Yeah, it is, but with a 1-6 record for Wayne Valley, this game should be pretty evenly matched. You know, the intensity and fire comes out in a Wayne Hills, Wayne Valley game. Lacrosse especially, because it's such a physical game, you know, fast pace, but it is different than the girls' game we saw. In the girls' game, it was, you know, the referees were calling it very soft. Okay, almost any contact was a foul. This is very different. This is physical, and this is almost the same as football. You're playing rugby right now, but with a stick.
Well, speaking of football, that was the last time that we were in this booth in the fall, so it's nice to be back. Wayne Hills TV just can't get rid of us.
I can't. We have a great time, and it seems like everybody enjoys it.
I mean, we thought we might be done after basketball, but the baseball schedule has coincided with the lacrosse schedule, and we have a chance to call a lacrosse doubleheader for you. You heard John and Anthony call the girls' game moments ago, and now the boys are getting ready to get set to take on their crosstown rivals, the Wayne Valley Indians. Wayne Valley coming in with a 1-6 mark. Wayne Hills just a little bit better at 3-5, and we are underway here from Wayne Hills High School. 12-minute quarters as Wayne Hills earns a possession here in the early going.
See, as you said, John, 12-minute quarters. That is different from the girls' match. They had two 25-minute periods.
Well, this is Doug Schweibel looking inside as they work the ball around. It's loose on the turf. As there's a hard check from number 9, Robbie Schiller. And Valley will retain possession as that one goes bouncing across midfield. Valley with their first scoring chance of the night. So Wayne Hills will set up their defense for the first time.
Wayne Valley is led by a few seniors, being Andrew Fournier, number 20, Mike Miller, number 2, and Mike Gilberti on the defensive side, number 24. He had the early steal there. Miller's going to take it at the top of the key.
Well, you see Mike Miller, number 2, who served as a running back for the Wayne Valley Indians in the fall. Andrew Fournier, number 20, was the quarterback of that team. We saw Wayne Hills beat Wayne Valley twice in this past 2010 football season on their way to a state championship, as that ball is going to go out of bounds over to the Patriots of Wayne Hills.
Now, Miller does not have the fondest of memories here. I'm not quite sure if he can even recall that game where he was hit by Joe Lane and honestly destroyed. He didn't get up for a little bit. That was incredible. You see Max Fields, the goalie here, taking this all the way up.
Well, Fields is all the way inside the Valley 30, gives a nice pass to the outside, and they're going to reset the offense as Fields will hustle back to the net. But like Anthony said, Miller will keep his head on a swivel this evening.
Well, Joe Lane's not playing tonight, so he should be good.
Well, without Lane on the field, hopefully that'll give Miller a chance to catch his breath. 2 minutes into this opening quarter, no score. This is Cardux trying to battle in. The pass is deflected away by Valley keeper Nick Delaferra, as there's a penalty on the play, and now that Valley gets the possession back.
And number 12, Jason Rubin, got hit in the helmet by the Wayne Valley defenseman. So we'll see our first penalty of the game. Hills will get the ball back.
Guys, I got to admit, I'm not exactly a lacrosse expert, so the flag to me,
it's a offside.
that was cool. It's just like football, but like hockey, you have to wait for the team that committed the penalty to retain possession for the play to be stopped. which is fair. You let the offensive team get their chance to score if they're in prime position. So a game of catch between Schweibel and Schweckel. Oh, sure.
So as we mentioned, we have a sibling on the field. Doug Schweibel is playing alongside with his younger brother, Darren. And both Carduxes would be playing right now if Casey didn't suffer that ACL injury.
Well, Ruben couldn't finish inside on that one. But Darren Schweibel, just a freshman on this Wayne Hills team. As there are going to be a few subs coming into the game for Wayne Hills.
Christian Graff is going to check into the game, as is freshman number 20, Steve Pisterla. It's a big game for him, his first Wayne Hills-Wayne Valley matchup.
And a lot more underclassmen on this Wayne Hills team as opposed to last year where we saw some senior leaders and Chris Massoud and Spencer Nellis and also Josh Weinstein in goal played a big part. A lot more sophomores and freshmen are seeing a bit of time this year.
Well, Bellegarde scoops it up with that ginger hamstring as he's coming down the left side. Gets attacked by a few defenders. Schweibel with a good shot at it, but it goes out of bounds over to the Indians. So Wayne Valley working it back the other way.
Now, one of the main differences between the girls and guys game is the type of shots that are taken outside. Here you see most of the shots are taken from a good distance away. It's you find a little gap and you take the shot. For the girls, it was all about setting up the offense or finding somebody cutting across, basically right in front of the goal where all they had to do was kind of even put the ball towards the net and it went in.
Well, there's always going to be more strength in a boys' game and a lot more quickness as well. So getting inside is not as easy in the boys' game as it is with the girls. That pass goes errant for Wayne Valley, and it's going to be scooped up by Fournier. Fournier elects to go right, but they puts a shot wide of the net, and it's going to stay with Wayne Valley.
And it looked like Coach Jacobson might be having Mike Miola D up Andrew Fournier one-on-one and just stick to him on defense.
Valley going to reset things. Nice sidewinding pass goes wide again. So neither team can get a shot on net right now. They've had some long distance looks, but no one's been able to cash in thus far.
Well, the boys do have firepower. They don't necessarily have accuracy, as you see there.
Mac Peters.
Number 1, Mac Peters, found the back of the net.
Well, guys, I saw Mac in church last night for Good Friday services, and it certainly helped him on that one.
And Valley found a hole in the Hills defense that time. I think Hills might be missing Chris Baselli. He was the anchor of that defense before he went down with an injury. And no physical presence there. And Peters found an opening and put it in the back of the net past Fields.
Well, we already saw Max Fields, the junior goalie, not afraid to take the ball deep into the Valley end, but was caught flat-footed on that one, and Valley goes up 1-0 midway through the opening quarter.
See the referees checking the nets there, make sure everything is okay, no holes. Clee's going to face off here.
Another thing I've noticed in the lacrosse game is similar to a basketball tip-off. There's players from both teams on either side of the field matching up one-on-one on either side.
Well, John, this is another difference between the girls and guys game. The girls started with the ball in their nets, and they kind of just shot it up to see who would get it on the other team. It was a strange sequence of events. Each tip-off, it was actually kind of confusing, but this is very different. This is kind of just a battle.
Well, man-on-man, Clee will face off for the Patriots. And Wayne Hills does win that one, as Robbie Schillers has a streak going down, and it's going to be saved by Nick Delafera. And Wayne Valley will look to attack. This is Gilberti giving it off as Valley has a run.
There's Mike Miller with a nice spin move.
And he got past Clee, and now
Steve Adwar trying to find somebody open. Not able to. He's going to slow the offense down a little bit.
Here's Miller again at the top. Looking around, he's going to flip it off now for James Clark, number 33. Wayne Valley patient on offense, getting inside, and a nice save there by Fields. So denying the Indians their second goal. So here's Fields out of the net once again. That's something that you don't see in any other sport. As that's a hard hit there from Bellegarde, no call. And Valley takes it back and streaking down the sideline. As now it's going to go inside for Peters. Peters working on Dylan DeBonis. There's a hard check from Schweibel. I'm sorry, Klee. It's Ricky Klee playing very physical on Peters, following him all the way into the middle of the field. Nice pass inside, saved by Fields. Adwar got inside from point-blank range, and Fields turned him away.
It's a nice job. Really hard to stop from that distance. Just the physicality difference between this and the girls' game is really outrageous. It's this is nuts right now. This is so much.
And it goes end to end much quicker.
More physical.
Right, and it goes end to end much faster than the girls' game.
Also, the nets are 10 yards closer in this than the girls' game. The girls play with the nets in the end zone.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, this is it's a much faster game.
And a lot more room behind the net as well. That's interesting. You would think that the boys would have more room to move between the nets, but it just makes for a much more exciting game as Peters unable to handle that one, and some physical play there from Wayne Hills. That's Ryan Cardux getting the steal from Peters, and Peters hits him right back, and they're going to blow a whistle. Looks like a timeout called by Coach Jacobson and the Patriots.
Well, it's been a pretty even matchup thus far, John. Just one goal by Mac Peters. He did a great job of finding the inside there, and also a nice save by Max Fields just a second ago.
Well, with that timeout, I think Coach Jacobson just trying to calm down the emotions a little bit. We saw Klee and Cardux playing very physical. Doesn't want him to get too over-aggressive here in only the first quarter. You don't want to start too much hatred either way this early in the game. Save that for later if it's close. He wants his Patriot team to stay within the game plan and not get out of their not play outside of their capabilities and try to do too much.
And John, Wayne Valley has been controlling the ball most of the quarter thus far. We've seen a few shots on net. Fields is held strong for the most part, but Wayne Hills needs to start getting some knocks on the Wayne Valley offensive players and get the ball up into the zone and test the goalie, Nick Delafera.
Well, John, speaking of injuries, you yourself have one. How are you feeling?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, but I did break my wrist a week ago, and I'm hoping it's healing. It's not painful,
That's always good.
It's just sitting around, but we'll have to test it out again as soon as possible.
Only time will heal it. That's as long as you're being cautious with it. That's all we need.
Well, the baseball team's out to a 7-2 start, so get a grip on that schedule and come down and support the team, as Anthony Scadillo, your star closer for Wayne Hills, has put away a few wins for them so far, and 7-2 is a nice start for the baseball team. And you knew that was coming from two baseball players on your announcing team this evening.
Just had to throw it in there.
So Ryan Cardux controls for this Wayne Hills Lacrosse Club. Directs Schweibel in a different direction. Cardux still with it. Working on Fournier. He's going to get it back toward the middle for Schiller. Schiller can't control it. He continues to battle, takes on a couple of hits, and Schiller does get the ball, but it's popped up in the air, and Bellegarde goes for it. But this time, it's still loose on the ground. And finally, some help from Cardux. This is Cardux with the lefty shot in the back of the net. Ryan Cardux gets Wayne Hills on the board, and we're tied at 1.
John, it just gets scoring, runs in the family.
Ryan's been taking lessons from his brother Casey. We saw it a bunch of times last year. If they want to replace that offensive production, Cardux has to live up to that role of his brother.
Well, Ryan picking up where his senior brother left off. Of course, Casey hurting his ACL in the football season. Of course, you don't want it to carry over so many months later, but it is such a serious injury that it takes quite a bit of time to rehab. So, unfortunately, Casey not able to join his brother on the lacrosse field for his senior season, but Ryan making an impact on his own. And he gets Wayne Hills out on the board here in this crosstown rivalry game. As hitting the deck for Wayne Hills is Pusteria. Pusterla, sorry.
John, we've talked about the Wayne Hills team being a little bit of a disappointment this season. Coming in, they were in the North Jersey top 25. But since then, they've been 2-5. They're really missing the production of the seniors that are out with injuries. And I think when you consider it, a lot of the responsibility has to fall on the shoulders of Alex Bellegarde. He was one of the top scorers last year and one of the only seniors remaining that hasn't been lost to injuries.
Well, Bellegarde is shaken up, or not shaken up at the moment, but he's nursing an injury as well, so you can't put all the weight on his shoulders. But like John said, he is the leader of this team. He is the face of the franchise, so to speak, and he will be taking the blame if the team, goes out to a slow start like they have. And he's going to be counted on for scoring. As you see, Fields all the way up the field again, and he's going to have to hustle all the way back. So, and inside is Doug Schweibel to finish it down low. A nice pass inside, and Schweibel gives Wayne Hills the lead.
And Schweibel, as a sophomore last year, kept up with the big boys, and this year is taking on much more responsibility, and he's living up to it so far. His first goal of the game.
Well, that was some nice playmaking ability from that far side. I believe Bellegarde set him up on that one. And like John said, some nice patience inside from Schweibel as the goalie was right in his face, and he was able to get it around him and finish down low. And just like that, Hills takes the lead right back, 2-1. As Hills will come back the other way. That has been Fatty into the game now. Bellegarde on that left side. Here's Cardux in the middle, taking his time against Miller. That's actually Davia Drozjak for Wayne Valley guarding Cardux, as he's had the ball for quite some time now. I'm sorry, David Drozjak. Handwriting is poor on these rosters. Excuse me. That pass incomplete, intended for Peters. It's going to be a loose ball battled for, and Wayne Hills looked to come away with it. Klee couldn't pick it up off the turf, and Wayne Hills eventually is going to get it back. As streaking down the sidelines is Pusterla. Gives it off for Schweibel, who will control it now with 50 seconds to go in the opening quarter. This is Bellegarde inside off the post, and that's going to go all the way off the field. Strong shot from Bellegarde. I mean, with that deflection off the post, you just saw how much power was behind that.
That was a great look there. He was streaking across the middle. Nice open look, took advantage of it. Even had a nice shot, just a little too high.
So we finally see the prowess of Bellegarde on the offensive end for Wayne Hills. Schweibel inside the dish for number 12, Jason Rubin, who finishes for Wayne Hills and gives them a 3-1 lead in the latter stages of this first quarter.
And John, just like we saw in the girls' game, Wayne Valley started off with the first goal, but Hills comes back strong, and now they have a 2-goal lead.
Well, you see some beautiful interior passing for Wayne Hills. We saw Bellegarde feed Schweibel, and then Schweigel feeds Rubin.
And that's a feature of this team we didn't see as much last year. Normally it was just Cardux or Bellegarde would take his man one-on-one and take a shot, but we're seeing a lot more ball movement this year on account of the fact that Cardux isn't playing.
Goals are coming from a variety of sources. Great job. You saw that in the girls' game. You had 7 different girls with at least 1 goal. 2 of them had 4 and 1 had 5. So, 3 here already, 3 different goal scorers for Hills. It's something good. You can't really single out one player to make him to prevent him from stopping if everybody can score.
Well, this is Schiller going inside. Gives it off, and another goal from Wayne Hills. That's Rubin again. His second goal of the quarter, and with 9 seconds to go, Wayne Hills jumps out to a quick 4-1 lead.
Jason Rubin, 2 goals in about 30 seconds, just like Katie Ulios did in the girls' game.
So we haven't seen Wayne Valley distribute the ball well enough to put more than 1 goal on the board in the quarter. And within the last 3 or 4 minutes, Wayne Hills has just put together some great teamwork and some great opportunities inside, and they've cashed in. Nick Delaferra giving up 4 goals for Wayne Valley, and they have dug themselves a 3-goal hole, as that's going to be the horn for the end of the first quarter, with your Wayne Hills Patriots leading the Wayne Valley Indians by a score of 4-1. Stay tuned for the second quarter of more Wayne Hills boys lacrosse.
First down, Horsell back to pass. Excellent protection all the time in the world. Looking downfield, looking for Van Penen. Triple covered, sticks it in there. Flags on the play. Van Penen ahead to the 20, looking for the sideline. He's across the 10, near the goal line. Dives. Touchdown, Ray Van Penen.
Welcome back to Wayne Hills High School, where your Wayne Hills Patriots lead the Wayne Valley Indians 4-1, heading into the second quarter of action here from Patriot Stadium. We saw 2 goals from Jason Rubin in the opening quarter, as well as 1 from Ryan Cardux and 1 from Doug Schweibel to get Wayne Hills out to that early lead after Mac Peters scored the first goal of the game for Wayne Valley, but it's been all Wayne Hills ever since, as the teams have now switched ends. And Fields will be on your right side for Wayne Hills, and Delaferra will be on your left side for Wayne Valley. The Indians with navy uniforms and light blue trim, going from left to right. This is Mike Miller looking for things to develop for Wayne Valley. One of the few times they've been able to control the ball deep in Wayne Hills territory so far. They had a good amount of possession in the first couple of minutes, but I mean, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, as there's a nice bouncing pass from Wayne Valley to make it a 4-2 game. That's James Clark finishing for the Indians, and it's now 4-2 Wayne Hills.
And I think that bounce caught goalie Max Fields off guard. He didn't think it would bounce in front of him. He put his stick down, and it popped up right over him.
That is something he was practicing in the pregame, though.
Well, those bouncers have to be a weapon for any offensive player. It's tough to play a ball off the turf. You never know which way it's going to bounce. I mean, on turf, you can, you're going to get true hops, but still not an easy play to defend if you're Max Fields, who's had a pretty good game so far for Wayne Hills and still has a 2-goal lead to work with. So Mike Miller comes away with that one off the face-off, being chased by Robbie Schiller. And Miller getting deep into Wayne Hills territory, gives a dish inside, and it's going to be lost on the turf. The shot goes off the crossbar. Fields trying to find it in front of the net, and he finally comes away with it, and there's going to be a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be
Valley's ball.
It's going to be Valley's ball as Rob Schiller comes out of the game.
Miola. Mike Miola comes in to play his lockdown defense on Andrew Fournier. He's not giving him an inch, even away from the play.
A minute and a half into the second quarter. Hills up 4-2. Valley's controlled the pace here in the second. As the shot is in the back of the net for Wayne Valley. And just like that, they cut it to a 1-goal game. That was Mike Miller finishing for the Indians. And here in the opening 2 minutes of the second quarter, they've come storming back to make it a 1-goal game.
John, you know what that means for Miller is that he's going to get roughed up a little bit once he comes back in the game.
Well, like Anthony said earlier, Mike Miller knows a thing or two about being roughed up here on this Wayne Hills Patriot Field.
I think for the most part, Wayne Hills looks a lot more physical than Wayne Valley. They're hitting them on every chance they can get with their body or stick.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, we noticed that earlier on in the first quarter. A couple of hard hits from Klee. And right after that, Coach Jacobson called a timeout, and they've played a much more laid-back game, but a very efficient one as they put 3 goals on the board quickly late in that first quarter as Valley controls the possession again. That shot goes wide. And Valley's going to retain possession with 9:39 to go in the half. This is Fournier at the top for Wayne Valley. As Valley being very patient as they've been able to score 2 goals already here in the quarter, looking for more. A nice run inside, met by 2 Patriots, now 3. Ball gets loose. And Valley will come back with it. Nice inside pass, and it's going to be a 1 bouncer controlled by Fields, but the whistle blows. And they're going to give it back to Wayne Valley as a strong cross-check from the Wayne Hills defense draws the penalty. James Clark going to take it out for Wayne Valley. Clark for Miller behind the net. Miller gets it back inside. The long outside shot, and it's in. Wayne Valley comes back from 3 goals down to tie it at 4. Andrew Fournier scores that one.
And John, I think Mike Miola is going to get an earful from Coach Jacobson as he comes out. He's in the game to stick to Fournier the whole time and not let him get a shot off. And I think he was too busy defending the net on that play and forgot about Fournier. And Fournier made the most of it and had a zinger right past Max Fields.
As you said, John, Wayne Hills has been much more physical, but it looks like the speed of Wayne Valley has really been baffling Wayne Hills. They haven't found a way to stop it.
Well, it's time for Wayne Hills to get physical again, as there you see attacking the ball for Wayne Hills as a host of players. Bellegarde stops at midfield, and Miller's going to look to go inside now. The give and go isn't there. Another shot goes wide past the goal of Fields. And guys, another thing I've noticed, the 3 forwards for Wayne Hills not allowed to go past that midfield stripe.
Yeah, that is one of the rules. You need to have a minimum of 3 players on that side of the 50.
.7:55 to go in the second quarter. Tie ball game 4-4. And Valley scores again. Their 4th goal of the quarter. And Mac Peters has his 2nd of the night.
And James Benfatti laid a good hit on him after he let that one go, but it was a little bit too late, and Wayne Valley once again takes the lead.
Well, 4 goals unanswered for Wayne Valley, and after falling behind 4-1, they've come right back to take the lead.
And as we talked
And Wayne
about,
Hills hasn't even had the ball on the offensive side thus far.
As is going to be a timeout for Wayne Hills.
Good call by Coach Jacobson. Needs to slow down the tempo a little bit. Wayne Valley had too much momentum going on their side.
Well, this 1-6 Wayne Valley team has come alive here in the second quarter.
as we talked about, John, the ball control has been a big factor here. When Hills was controlling it, they were scoring. They haven't gotten the ball on the offensive side much this quarter. And Wayne Valley has made the most of it, scoring 4 unanswered.
Well, I mean, it's really been a tale of 3 games so far. The opening 3 minutes, Valley controlled the action, was able to put 1 in the net. And then the rest of the first quarter, Wayne Hills just dominated with some nice inside passing. Jumped out to a 4-1 lead at the end of the first. And in the opening 4.5 minutes of the second quarter, Wayne Valley's put 4 quick ones up there, and it's 5-4 Indians at this point. So Wayne Hill's going to have to weather the storm here and try to battle back and keep it a close game going in to the halftime break. So Wayne Hill's breaking the huddle. Down by 1 now after Peters' second goal of the evening. Alex Belgard and the Wayne Hills offense going to have to get things going now. And guys, who are you looking towards right now if you're Wayne Hills to count on for some scoring? We know Belgard's banged up, but who else on the team other can help him out right now?
I mean, I can't really look at anybody but Alex Belgard. I mean, he's the senior leader on the offensive side without Cardux. And it's really hard for them to score without his productivity.
Well, you saw Fournier with the nice run for Valley, but Peters' shot goes well wide.
John, going back to your question, I think you have to consider Doug Schweibel, too. I mean, he's a second-year starter. He already scored tonight. He's capable of putting those goals on the board. Just get him the ball somewhere around the net, and I have confidence that he'll put it in.
If they get it into their Wayne Valley territory in order to score, though, and they have not been able to do that this entire quarter.
Well, you see Steve Pusterla has now drawn the duties of guarding the dangerous Andrew Fournier. And a nice pass from Wayne Valley, pushed aside by the Patriots. Nice check there from Pusterla. As now Fields is going to go all the way out towards midfield again before he finally gives it up, and it's going to go out of bounds. Fields' pass was intended for James Benfatti, and Benfatti couldn't handle the bouncing pass. And Valley's going to take over as Hills brings in a couple of subs.
Trying to get some fresh legs in there. Maybe somebody to spark a little bit of a comeback.
Barberi going to set things up for Wayne Valley, as Adwar got that one in. And now Miller's going to reset the offense with 6:28 to go in the first half. Here's Barberi going behind the net for Adwar. And that pass is going to go out of the reach of Peters. And now Ricky Klee will set up the possession for Wayne Hills.
John, I've been noticing that Wayne Hills uses their subs a lot more than Wayne Valley does.
I've noticed that too, John. I mean, they've gone to the bench time and time again with multiple subs each time. Wayne Valley not working in as many players, and we'll see if that'll play a factor later on in the game when fatigue becomes of prime importance. As that pass is wide of Fournier, as Gilberti unhappy with himself. So here comes Cardux down the near sideline with 5.5 minutes to go in the second. Cardux with some room inside, guarded by Fournier. Gives it up for Robbie Schiller. Valley in a man-to-man defense as Schiller goes around the back of the net and slows things up. And he's knocked away there by Gilberti. And Bellegarde has it now for Wayne Hills with some space. But it looks like number 28, Dylan DeBonis, went over the midfield stripe. And Valley will regain possession with 5 minutes to go in the opening half.
John, on the offensive possession before, Alex Bellegarde didn't even touch the ball. If you're the Hills offense, I don't know if you can afford that at this point.
And the flag flies, so there's an upcoming penalty on James Benfatti as Valley will continue with their possession, and they score. Fournier for his second goal of the evening, and Valley's now up 6-4.
Fournier's trying to make up for the losses during football season.
Well, definitely has a better chance tonight, as now his team has jumped out to a 2-goal lead. Biggest Wayne Valley lead of the night. And I mean, we saw Wayne Hills make a point of guarding Andrew Fournier tight, and he's gotten free in the last few minutes of this second quarter.
Too many offensive possessions for Hills, where only 2 players touch the ball and don't do anything with it. The offense isn't moving. Bellegarde doesn't get the ball. Schweibel doesn't get the ball. I'm not sure whether that's a designed offense or of the player's own doing, but that definitely needs to change for Hills.
Well, Wayne Hills has lost a ton of time on their possession here in the second quarter. After dominating this game in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the first quarter, they've lost full control of it. And now Wayne Valley's going to win this one as well, as Fournier loses it for a moment but gets it right back. And a timeout called by the Wayne Valley Indians as they are still fired up from this run. So with 4:40 to go in the second quarter, we'll be back with more lacrosse after this.
Is that the first break?
Back at Wayne Hills High School, where Wayne Valley leads Wayne Hills 6-4 with 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Andrew Fournier setting up the offense for Valley. Peters swings it for the Indians. As Wayne Valley in no rush to push the offense and in no rush to give the momentum back to the Patriots after they've scored 5 straight goals here in the second quarter. Inside for Valley was Stephen Adwar, the junior, but he was pushed away by Pusterla, the freshman. So Pusterla not afraid to get in there and lay a hit as just a freshman. As that pass is turned aside by Fields and heads into the netting beyond the baseline, or the end line, as Valley will get the ball back with 3:50 to go in the quarter. That one's popped up in the air. As Klee battles for it, and eventually Max Fields gets the possession for Hills, and a long pass completed to Cardux, and Cardux will head down that far sideline and set things up for Wayne Hills.
Cardux doing his, Fields doing his best impression of Kevin Olson there.
That was a 40-yard pass right on the money, as that pass is knocked down by Della Ferra. And Rubin will reset things for Wayne Hills. This is Bellegarde at the 20. Hands it off for Cardux. Cardux crossfield pass for Schiller. Back down low for Rubin. Works it back around to Bellegarde, and they just keep flinging it around in a circle. But nice to see Wayne Hills with a steady possession here. Could be their first one of the quarter as Schiller has it now. This is Schiller looking for an opening. And now Schiller with a run toward the middle, gets it inside, and that one is off the post. You heard metal off that shot. Some people thought it went in, but it was ruled not a goal from Doug Schweibel.
I don't know, John. That one looked good to me.
I mean, it definitely looked like it clipped some net, but you heard the sound of the metal, which means it got post as well, and now Valley capitalizes and extends that lead to 3. That was James Clark with his second goal. And now 2 apiece for Peters, Clark, and Fournier, propelling Valley to a 7-4 lead.
And John, all these shots have been, for the most part, well outside the circle. Wayne Hill's not allowing the penetration, but giving up the long shots, and Fields hasn't been able to handle a few of them.
Well, Fields' level of play has dissipated in the second quarter after holding Valley to just 1 goal in the first. Has given up some long ones, as John said, and Valley finds himself in front 7-4 with 2 minutes to go in the first half, as the call will go against Ricky Klee, and Valley's going to take it back. As Wayne Hills fans not happy with that call. And Fournier going to reset the offense for Wayne Valley. Working on Ricky Klee. Gives it up. And that pass is knocked away by Fields, but it finds its way into the net. And across that end line as Miller celebrates, and he gets his second goal of the night. 2 goals for 4 players for the Indians, and they've doubled up the score on Wayne Hills. It's 8-4.
And Max Fields had that one in his stick. It just bounced out, and unfortunately, it was past that goal line.
And now they've pulled Max Fields after a slow start. And now sophomore Dan Wilhots will come into the game for Wayne Hills. So Wilcox has the ball at the moment, and he's going to look for a teammate with 1:38 and counting to go in the second quarter. Wilcox finds Cardux down that far side. The pass is tipped by Valley, and Schiller and Cardux converge, and Cardux comes away with it. 1:20 to go. Cardux with a run for Hills. Finds Bellegarde, but it's over his stick. Bellegarde chasing it toward the sideline, and Alex will battle, and they're going to blow the whistle. And Wayne Hills will get it back. And that pass cannot be handled by Ryan Cardux as it goes toward midfield, and it's pushed up ahead for Schiller.
Here go, Dad!
And Ruben goes down, and 2 flags fly on that one, so Wayne Hills will get it right back with 52.9 to go in the second.
Well, they got to try to at least get something going here, maybe a goal right at the end of the second quarter. They can't go down 4, expecting to come back like it's nothing. They've had trouble scoring 4 through 2 quarters as it is.
Well, we saw Wayne Hills put up 3 quick ones in the last couple of minutes of the first quarter. So, I mean, in lacrosse, anyone can score a few goals in a hurry, but you don't want to be down by too much going into the second half. And 8-4 would be a comfortable lead for Wayne Valley if they could maintain this score going into the locker room, as Wayne Hills is going to set things up. 46 seconds to go now. This is Ruben behind the net. He's got a little bit of an edge. Ruben puts it in for Wayne Hills. And that's going to be his 3rd goal of the night. And Wayne Hills looks to have cut it to a 3-goal game. So just like that, Ruben answers for Wayne Hills, his third to lead all scorers in this one. That was a strong run by Ruben, who's we've seen play primarily behind the net tonight, and he worked his way in there in traffic, was able to will it through De La Fera and the Valley defense to try to spark this Wayne Hills team. Their first goal of the second quarter.
And I think the Valley defense thought Ruben was going to give Bellegarde an outlet on that one. I'm not sure if they've keyed him in like Hills is trying to been do to been doing to Fournier, but
Ruben kind of caught him napping there, lulled him to sleep with those soft passes to Bellegarde all night.
Four wide receiver set fly back to pass. Throws a ball, and it's going to be intercepted by Roddy Drees. Drees has a cakewalk into the end zone, and Drees brings it in for the touchdown. What a turn of events, folks.
Ruben kind of caught him napping there, lulled him to sleep with those soft passes to Bellegarde all night, and eventually he just took it in himself and got the job done to cut it to a 3-goal game with 30 seconds to go. Wayne Hills going to try to put another one up as Cardux has a strong run going. Gives it up for Bellegarde. Bellegarde for Ruben. The pass inside for Schweibel is no good, and Valley comes away with it. 20 seconds to go. The long pass is handled there from Valley. They have a run going now. That was Peters on the reception. Peters goes down the far sideline. Triple team from Wayne Hills. He gets a strong check. And Wayne Valley will call a timeout with 10 seconds to go in the first half.
And John, I know Max Fields hasn't been having the greatest game. He's let up 8 goals in this first half, but I'd like to see him come back in the second half. I know they've replaced him with Dan Wheelcotts. We'll see how long he's in there for, but that's your starting goalie. You've stuck with him all season. I don't see how you can pull him just to make a point in the first half.
As a coach, you always want to show loyalty to your key players, especially your goalkeeper. But, I mean, if you're going to give up 8 goals in a big game to your crosstown rival and really not make too many impressive saves, he's turned a couple aside, but he really has not had a strong game to this point. So, I mean, this is a game you'll really, really want to win. And if he's not getting it done in the early going, you're gonna be forced to go to your backup, and we'll see what Wheelcotts has to give Coach Jacobson, and we'll see if Coach Jacobson's willing to put Fields back in the game in the second half and maybe just wants to send a message to him. And hopefully, no matter what kind of statement Coach Jacobson sent by taking his starting goalie out of the game, the Patriots will answer his call, because they've played a weak second quarter, and Valley has certainly taken advantage with 7 goals in the quarter.
Well, John, players might take notice that Coach Jacobson took him out and say, wow, my job isn't safe either. I got to go and play that much harder.
I mean, that's always what you want with competition, have one player push the other. As Dan Wheelcott stays in the game now, with 10 seconds to go, Valley trying to set up a play to bring that lead back to 4. And it looks like Miller going all the way around. 2 seconds left. Not much time. Miller gets inside, and that'll be the buzzer as Ricky Klee excited from that stop. And at the halftime break, Wayne Valley leads Wayne Hills by a score of 8-5. Guys, thoughts on the first half?
Well, John, you saw early that Hills was able to put up some quick goals. They took a 4-1 lead, and then Valley really just took advantage of the opportunities that were given to them. They really picked apart this Wayne Hills defense with their speed, and even though Hills has played pretty physical, they're going to have to try to catch up to this Wayne Valley team and just speed-wise. And if they can do that, they have the ability to score goals, and trust me, they will.
You know what? If you're Hills, you're demoralized at half. You let up 8 goals. You're down 3. But the game is still very much within reach. I mean, they can score 3 goals like that. As you saw, Jason Rubin had 2 in about 30 seconds. So as long as Schweibel and Bellegarde pick up the scoring slack and the defense strengthens up a little bit, I think this one's going to remain close for the rest of the game.
Well, John, I got to agree. This game is well within reach for Wayne Hills. I think that last goal at the end of the second was huge for the morale of Wayne Hills after going 7 minutes without a goal and giving up 7 to the opponent in between. Wayne Hills wanted to at least reassure themselves that they could still put goals up on Nick Delafera, and they've come back with that one key one, but they do find themselves down by 3. A name that we haven't mentioned too much is Doug Schweibel. He's one of the leaders of this team. Him and Bellegarde need to pick up the scoring in the second half. Ruben has picked up the slack with 3, and Cardux as well can help those two out. So it'll be an interesting second half. So we'll come back with the third quarter of play after this.
But here we go. Lucas will inbound the corner with 3 minutes to go. She gets it to Giametta. Giametta corrals it, puts a shot on net. Deflected into the net. A goal by Brittany Galone. And Wayne Hills wins the North 1 Group 3 state championship. Oh, baby. Call your brains. Call your brains. Wayne Hills state champions, baby.
Couldn't script it any better, Joe. Couldn't script it any better myself.
What a shot by Brittany Galone off the deflection from Jacqueline Giametta, and Wayne Hills wins the North 1 Group 3 state championship in dramatic fashion.
Beginning the third quarter of lacrosse here from Wayne Hills High School, with Wayne Valley leading Wayne Hills 8-5 going into the third quarter. John Vitas joined by Anthony Scudillo and John Giardello with the second game of your lacrosse doubleheader of Hills Valley games. It's a lacrosse celebration here at Wayne Hills today, Wayne Lacrosse Day, with a bunch of younger teams playing before the high school games, and now the nightcap is your Hills Valley boys lacrosse game here on Holy Saturday.
You see early on, Wayne Hills is going to Alex Bellegarde, their main goal scorer. Hopefully they'll go to him early and often.
So a slow start for Wayne Hills right off the bat. We noticed the difference in intensity in the huddles at halftime. Wayne Valley very excited and exuberant. Wayne Hills a little more low-key. And it looks like it's carried over as Peters gets a shot. As there you go, Max Fields back in net for Wayne Hills after being pulled midway through the second quarter. Dan Wilcott's, the sophomore backup, didn't give up any goals, but I mean
He wasn't in for that long.
He wasn't in for long.
But he did his job, served his purpose.
But Coach Jacobson putting Fields back in there after giving him a little bit of a scare. Thought he might have lost his job, but he gets his chance to redeem himself here in the second half. So that pass will go out of bounds back over to Wayne Hills as Klee will start it up for the Patriots. Fields gets it for Cardux, streaking, but he's quickly knocked. The ball's knocked away from Cardux, and now Valley will take possession back. This is Peters working on a screen from Fournier. And the bounce pass handled by Wayne Valley. This is Miller at the top, puts a shot on net, and it's wide to the left. And Fields will set it up for Wayne Hills.
And Mike Miola and Christian Graff have checked into the game for the Patriots on defense.
We saw Graff a little bit in the first half and getting more playing time here in the second. As here comes a run from Robbie Schiller. Schiller takes a couple of hard hits from Fournier, and there's a penalty called on Andrew Fournier. Schweibel gets inside. When Valley picks it up, it'll be a penalty, and they're going to blow the whistle, and that penalty will be enforced.
And I think Rob Schiller got slashed by Andrew Fournier. Fournier coming out of the game right now.
And guys, is that called a power play, or does that player just have to come off the field?
I think he just has to come off the field and switch.
That's what it looked like. 2 guys came out and 2 came in for Valley. I mean, that doesn't really...
Don't hold me accountable for that, though.
That doesn't really deter you from not hitting someone coming out of the game for a brief period of time. Schweibel swings it for Rubin. Back for Schweibel, double teamed. Loses the ball, but it's corralled back in by Rob Schiller. Schiller with a nice swing for Bellegarde, puts a shot, saved by Della Fera. But Hills gets it back. This is Cardux at the top, swings it for Schiller. Schiller weaving his way through. Schiller still with possession, puts a shot blocked by Della Fera again. It was loose in front, but Nick Della Fera able to scoop it up, and a strong possession from him, but his pass goes out of bounds. Back over to Wayne Hills. So just as the Wayne Valley defense held strong, they give the ball right back over to Wayne Hills. 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the second half.
John, Rob Schiller's shot might have been in there. I think it bounced on the goal line. I guess the ref didn't see it go over at all, but
Well, that was a strong run from Schiller as Cardux can't handle that one as it rolls toward midfield. Bellegarde chases it down and gets it back up for Schweibel. Schweibel down the middle, the pass knocked away. Schiller had it for a second, and Valley gets it back.
like I mentioned, though, John, Alex Bellegarde's getting a lot more looks than in the first half. He's had 2 or 3 shots on net thus far.
That one goes out of bounds from Fournier, but Valley will get it back. That was Ryan Stengel on that run for Valley. First time we've mentioned his name tonight. So Miller resetting the offense, up by 3. No scoring yet here in the third. This is Peters behind the net. Back for Fournier, who's quickly back into the game. Valley taking their time with the ball. Fournier looks to wind up, and it's saved by Max Fields. So Fields finally making a play on a strong shot from Fournier. And Fields goes all the way up the field again as that one is going to the ground. It's a penalty on Valley. Darren Schweibel drew that one. And Miller will have to come out.
I like that save by Max Fields before. That was a tough one. Fournier shot that from below his knees, and it rose up, and Fields was able to handle it nicely.
Yeah, some creative shot making from Andrew Fournier there, as John said, with a tough angle for Fields as that ball was rising toward that crossbar. Schiller chases it down and gets the ball loose as that was Rubin hitting the turf. As Jason Rubin has gotten back on defense now. And there's a flag on the field. So that will go against Wayne Hills once the whistle blows. This is Peters working it around. Fournier with the strong shot, another save by Fields. And the whistle will blow.
There's a nice save there again by Fields, though. 2 in a row.
I think James Benfatti was having a few words with Andrew Fournier after that play, and it looks like Fournier might be pointing at him right now. We'll see if this develops later.
Well, trash talking is definitely a part of lacrosse.
And Hills lost their main trash talker from last year, Chris Massoud, the expert.
Can't replace somebody like Chris Massoud.
Although I'm not sure if the defenders knew what he was saying to them half the time.
He had his own Wang language, if you remember.
And Fournier scores again. Andrew Fournier's 3rd goal of the game. And Valley extends that lead back to 4. It's 9-5.
Christian Graff right next to him did not see Fournier take that shot. And you saw he was upset with himself afterwards. I think he's going to come out of the game right here.
Yeah, Graff heads toward the sideline.
You got to think, the one thing Coach Jacobson was stressing all week would be don't lose Fournier, keep your eye on him. And Hills has lost him a few times, and he's made him pay. It's his 3rd goal of the night.
Well, Fournier ties Rubin with 3 goals in the game. to lead their teams. It's a hard hit from Cardux, but Valley able to regain possession. Peters dishes to Miller, and they'll reset the offense back to Fournier. And we've been saying those three names all night. Miller, Peters, and Fournier have led the charge for the Indians and gotten them out to this 9-5 advantage. This is Miller trying to get inside. Puts a shot saved by Fields. He's picked up his play in the third quarter, and he's needed to do so with Valley with a lot of shots in the quarter. Hills not being able to generate too much on offense, but here comes a run for Wayne Hills. And the whistle will blow as that was James Benfatti on the run, but Coach Jacobson will call his third timeout with his team trailing 9-5. Guys, the energy level hasn't really picked up for Wayne Hills after halftime. I mean, what does Coach Jacobson need to tell his boys for them to bring that level to a winning place?
Well, John, we've seen it that Hills has at least been on the offensive attack here in this third quarter. Now, their shots haven't been going in, but as long as they're taking shots, that's fine, because eventually they will find the back of the net. They just have to keep up their defensive intensity and keep firing those shots on the offensive side of the ball.
But you know what? Too many of these shots are going wide, and Hills doesn't even get a second shot at it. If you're going to take a shot, at least make the goalie make a play on it. And we'll see if Bellegarde gets a few more looks in this second half. The defense is holding strong for the most part. Only one goal so far on a nice shot by Fournier, but they've got to keep them keyed in and try to contain this Valley offense.
We'll give credit to the Valley defense as well, as since the first quarter, Hills has only scored one goal in close to 20 minutes of play now, as we are midway through the third quarter with Valley leading 9-5. Guys, it's worth mentioning Alex Bellegarde scoreless so far in this one. The senior leader of this Wayne Hills team. Cardux going to set things up for the Patriots. 6:03 to go in the third. Cardux finds Schiller. Schiller double teamed. Able to play the field and get some space. Schweibel has it now. Gets it to Ruben, who's back behind the net. Bellegarde resets it with Cardux. Cardux back for Schiller. And they're going to keep going around. Ruben goes back for Schweibel. Wayne Hills patient on offense. That's a cross pass for Bellegarde. The bouncer goes out of bounds, and Wayne Hills will retain possession. Ruben going to take it out. 5:25 to go in the third. Hills yet to score in the quarter. This is Cardux trying to handle the bouncer, but it's taken away by Wayne Valley. Here comes Andrew Fournier. 3 goals already in the game, but his pass goes well wide, intended for Mac Peters. And Hills will get it back.
John, I think that's about the third or fourth ball Ryan Cardux has just let get by him when they were trying to reset the offense. I don't know if that's a little bit of sophomore inexperience or nerves, but that can't continue.
That bouncer is batted down by Benfatti. He gets hit, but James is able to stay with it and corral the ball. That high pass is loose, and it looks like going to scoop it up is Rob Williams. And Valley will make a run now. Getting inside is Valley, but Fields answers with a save. The ball is loose. Valley comes back with it. The pass in front, corralled by Peters. The shot does not go, and Valley gets it right back. Here's Peters again winding up. Peters in double coverage. That one's batted down, and Fields comes away with it. So, guys, Max Fields has certainly picked up his play here in the second half, answering Coach Jacobson's challenge. He's given up just 1 goal but made close to 6 saves.
And that's what I said going into half. Stay with your starting goalie and he'll reward you. So far, Fields has done that, but the Patriots' offense hasn't played its part.
Clearly, he's playing with a sense of urgency, realizing that his job may not be safe.
Well, that pass intercepted from Wayne Hills. That was Graff on the play. This is Bellegarde losing it, and it's taken away by the Indians. That long pass is taken by Peters. Good communication between him and Fournier. As now Fournier has it. 3.5 to go in the third. Miller lofts one up. And Miller will reset. Fields comes away with it again. So here comes Cardux for Wayne Hills. Cardux with a shot knocked down in traffic. As Valley able to control. It's Fournier again. So Andrew Fournier getting his revenge in this 2010-2011 school year after falling to Wayne Hills twice on the football field, making a huge impact in this game for the Indians lacrosse program. Scoring 3 goals to lead all scorers and having quite an impact on defense as well. He's played quite a game tonight. So Drozjak will swing it for Miller. Peters back to Miller, back to Drozjak. Valley in no rush to get things going, leading by 4. Drozjak's pass ends up in the middle, but it's batted down, and Fields able to corral for Wayne Hills. Swings it for Klee, but the whistle goes against the Patriots, and Valley will get it right back. Peters has it for Wayne Valley. 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Valley nursing a 4-goal advantage. This is Miller with a hard check. He fights that one off, and Valley scores. It looks like Steven Adwar getting inside for Wayne Valley, his first goal of the night. And it's 10-5 Valley. They've doubled up Hills again. So we've seen Steven Adwar get inside on a few occasions. First time he put it in.
And like we've been saying, Wayne Valley with the ball control, it's been almost constant this whole quarter. Wayne Hills has had a few shots, but nothing major, and then they turn it over right away.
Well, Wayne Hills not getting anything done in the third. We hoped they would pick up their play from the second quarter, but halftime didn't make anything happen for Wayne Hills, and they find themselves down by 5 now in the latter stages of this third quarter. Their chances appear to be dwindling. They're going to have to get things going in a hurry. Here's Rubin inside. We saw him score on this play earlier, but he's turned aside by a pair of Indians. That was Gilberti on that defense. This is Doug Schweibel behind the net as he swapped positions with Rubin at the moment. Schweibel goes across for Cardux. Cardux can't handle it, but he gets it back now. Gets it inside for Rubin. The shot just wide, and it'll go out of bounds and stick with Wayne Hills. As Conrad Stump was able to earn that ball back for the Patriots. He's into the game for the first time on offense. This is Bellegarde battling hard on 3 people. He eventually loses it, and Valley had it for a second, and now it's loose on the turf again. Some physical play. First time we've seen this in a while as players hit the deck, and Hills comes away with it. Cardux has the ball now. Swings it for Schweibel, who can't get up high enough for that pass, and it'll go out of bounds at the end of the third quarter. So Valley continues their onslaught in the third quarter, and they lead Wayne Hills by a score of 10-5 at the end of 3 quarters of action. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter after this.
High formation for the Patriots right now, and the fans are on their feet. Monahan, look at that, he's back in the pocket, and he's going for Greg Olson, and he got it! He got it! Touchdown, Patriots! Touchdown, Patriots!
As we head into the fourth quarter here from Wayne Hills High School, Wayne Valley leading Wayne Hills 10-5. Andrew Fournier leading the way for Wayne Valley with 3 goals tonight. Mac Peters, Mike Miller, James Clark, each with 2. And we saw Stephen Adwar score his first goal late in the third quarter to jumpstart Wayne Valley's attack, leading Wayne Hills 10-5. And Fournier, once again, with control for the Indians, gives it off for his football teammate Mike Miller. And here come the Indians once again.
And John, that's been a factor that we haven't really discussed this night. They've been winning almost every single faceoff, so they get the ball on offense immediately every time.
We saw in the second they controlled the ball for almost the entire quarter, and when you're able to win those faceoffs, you can sit back like they are right now and just burn off time and burn off Wayne Hills' chances of winning as well. As we
Still
see,
not an insurmountable lead for the Patriots, but if you want to score 5 goals in a quarter, you've got to win every faceoff, make the most of every possession. The scoring isn't as constant as it is in the girls' game. It's a lot more rare, and the Patriots have found their opportunities sparse, especially in the second half.
Barbary's pass for Peters goes wide, but Valley will get it back. Adwar will start it up for the Indians. Peters controls a minute into the fourth. Fournier can't handle that bouncer as it rushes toward midfield, and they're going to give it to Wayne Hills. Pusterla will come out for Wayne Hills as they have possession now, a minute and a half into the final quarter of play. Cardux controls along that far sideline as the fog settles down into Patriot Stadium. This is Cardux looking for someone to give it up to. And Valley's defense holding strong. Spin move, and the pass goes long as it's going to be chased down by Darren Schweibel, but Valley comes away with it as there's a hit, and bouncing off of it was Fournier. I'm sorry, that was Clark who got hit. Did a good job of controlling that one, but was put on the turf. James Clark's played a good game for Wayne Valley, as has Tanner Barbary, as that one's stolen away by Pusterla. And Fields out of the net once again is going to give it up for number 14, Mike Miola. And the long pass is, there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Jacobson. So before Pusterla's pass, Jacobson calls a timeout with Hills down by 5, 9:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Can Wayne Hills come back? We'll find out after the break.
the game. That is the game. Your Wayne Hills Patriots beat the Northern Highland Highlanders 4-1. There was pandemonium at Patriot Stadium. Wayne Hills 4, Northern Highlands 1. A great game by both teams, but obviously Wayne Hills coming out on top.
You good? With 9:24 to go in the game, Wayne Hills finds themselves down by 5, looking to come back against their crosstown rival, Wayne Valley. Here comes Ryan Cardux across midfield. He's going to settle it up now for the Patriots. 9:10 to play. This is Schweibel going back for Ruben. Swings it for Bellegarde, yet to score tonight. Across for Schweibel, can't handle it again. Second time now that Doug not able to handle the high pass. He loses his stick, and Valley will get it back as a host of subs come in. Half the team coming out for both sides.
Not enough passing on offense, and when it is, they're too long. It goes over the players' heads or it's mishandled. You need more of those short passes that go across the circle like Wayne Valley's been doing.
So Valley will have a run at it here. This is Fournier giving it up for Barbary, who controls with plenty of space to work. 8:30 to go in the game, as Valley just looking to milk the clock now, up by 5 and in full control. This is Clark slowing things down, guarded by Ricky Klee. This is Peters, hit hard by Klee again. Ricky all over the field making hits. Peters spins out of that one, takes on another hit, as Wayne Hills just simply trying to knock the ball away from Valley, as there comes a flag. And that one is scored by Mike Miller. Miller gets his third goal to join Andrew Fournier with 3. And Valley all but clinches it now, up 11-5 with under 8 to go in the game.
And I think the Patriots are about resigned to their fates right now. The whole team was frustrated after that goal. Fields especially.
Well, this 1-6 Wayne Valley team has come to play tonight. After falling behind 4-1, they've gone on a 10-1 run since the end of the first quarter and have completely taken over the game and silenced Wayne Hills' offense. The loose ball picking up by Cardux, who's been silenced by Fournier tonight. Cardux still with the ball. Double teamed behind the net. And it'll go out of bounds to Wayne Valley. So strong defense from the Indians. Cardux not happy with the call, but it's going to stay with Wayne Valley.
John, how about this Wayne Valley defense only allowing 5 goals on the night? Mike Gilberti's done a good job in the defense in general of keying down the scorers for Hills and not allowing them to get too many good shots on goal.
You can't say enough about Valley's defense. They've just played great tonight. You know, they don't get their names mentioned as much as the offensive players, but they've been just as important, if not more important tonight, as they've shut down this high-powered Wayne Hills offense. This is Adwar behind the net. This is James Clark with the ball now, working on Mike Miola. Coach Jacobson getting the seniors in there to try to make a comeback here in their final season playing their crosstown buddies. Dylan DeBonis also in there for Wayne Hills. Is Clark going to make or Fields, excuse me, going to make a run here? Miola can't handle it, trying to scoop it toward midfield. Makes a hit, but to no avail as Valley comes away with it. A shot on net saved by Max Fields. A nice shot there from Clark, but Fields completing the split and turning that one aside. Ricky Klee up ahead on a bounce. Intended for Schiller, no good. Taken away by Williams and Wayne Valley. Barberi inside, wide open is Peters, and he dumps it in. And Wayne Valley extends the lead to 12-5. Mac Peters' his third goal of the game. And the three guys we've been talking about all night, Peters, Miller, and Fournier, now each with 3 apiece.
Well, if it wasn't clinched before, it is now. 12-5 lead for the Indians. I think at this point you got to give your underclassmen some experience and just try to hit someone. That's what I'd do.
Dan McDermott now into the game for the first time. Coach Jacobson trying to get some of the younger players in there for some experience and to try to light a match under this Wayne Hills team who's been very flat since the first quarter. I mean, we saw them score 4 very quick goals in the span of just 5 minutes, and ever since, they've only scored 1. So Carduck's looking to make something happen. Gets it inside for Darren Schweibel, but Della Fera comes away with it. And guys, a strong game from Nick Della Fera as well. You can't, when a team holds an opponent to 5 goals, I mean, you got to give the goalkeeper some credit. So
John,
I'm sorry, John.
you can tell this team is missing the injured players. I mean, Casey Carducks would score at least 4 or 5 goals a game last year. Chris Baselli, the anchor of the defense. And neither of them are playing, and this team is hurting because of it. If they want to contend in counties or states, they need those players to recover quickly.
Well, injuries have certainly plagued this 2011 season for Wayne Hills with some high expectations. They've started out 3-5, and if this score holds up, they'll fall to 3-6 on the year. Not the start they looked for. So Darren Schweibel and Rob Schiller playing a little game of catch for a moment. This is Schiller behind the net. Finds Bellegarde. Bellegarde puts a shot and it goes just high. So for just the second time, we finally got to see Alex Bellegarde wind up and show off the velocity he has on his shot, which is pretty remarkable.
Got to make the goalie make a save, though.
I mean, if you have a player with a high-powered shot like Bellegarde does, you got to try to design plays to get him open whenever you can. Here he is again, puts another one that goes wide to the right. I mean, Della Fera doesn't even have to get a stick on that. It's just going wide.
Yeah, John, there's a difference between shots and shots on goal, and a lot of the shots tonight for this Wayne Hills offense have just been shots, not shots on goal, because a lot of them are going wide, too high. You know, it's Della Fera barely even needs to do anything.
You know what? You know what they say to shooters when they're missing? Keep shooting. And you saw that one went about 20 feet in the air.
Well, Wayne Hills certainly has shooters, but It might be too little too late with 3:51 to go in the game. Wayne Hills trailing by 7. As ever since the second quarter started, Wayne Valley has completely dominated this one. Here's Bellegarde finally willing his way toward the net, but the shot wide to the left. Wayne Hills will get it back, however, as Rubin will chase it down from that back net. Here comes Jason Rubin, Wayne Hills' leading goal scorer tonight with 3. Here's Carduck's shot, goes high. And one of the strongest players from Wayne Hills, Ryan Carduck's only with 1 goal this evening. And just a lack of scoring all around for Wayne Hills. That pass going to be scooped up by McDermott. Bellegarde controls. Bellegarde working hard, but Valley's defense will not give as a couple of subs come in for Wayne Hills as that pass caroms over to them. That lefty shot is in. So Ryan Carduck's able to get his second goal of the night, and Wayne Hills finally gets something going here in the second half.
Yeah, nice to see a goal finally. Hills hasn't scored in I don't know how long since Jason Rubin put that last one in.
It's been almost 2 full quarters for Wayne Hills. Like John referring to Jason Rubin's goal late in the second quarter with about 2 minutes left. And ever since, Hills hasn't been able to score until just now. So Carduck gets his second, and Hills cuts it to a 12-6 deficit. Here's Mike Miller still in the game, and it's interesting to see how these lacrosse coaches deal with resting starters at this point. You know, you'll see in other sports late in games where the winner-loss has already been decided, how anxious coaches are in getting their starters out, but most of the starters still in there for these two teams, or at least Wayne Valley. This is Miola defending. Barberi still in the game for Wayne Valley. Peters goes behind the net. Adwar working on Miola. 2 minutes to go in the game. Fournier in there as well. Here's Miller with the ball now.
You know, he may not look like much, but I don't know if I'd want to be defended by Mike Miola.
He packs a punch. There's Barberi around working on Ricky Klee. Pushed aside by Klee. 1:30 to go in the game, with the Valley leading 12-6. And Hills will get the ball back. Klee's going to run the offense for Hills. Gives it off for Carduck's across midfield. Carduck's trying to make something happen. He has 2 goals tonight. This is Darren Schweibel. For Jason Rubin, who slips on the moist turf. Here's Bellegarde going to wind up and fire wide. And that one made it through that net. And all the way back to the fence. With 57 seconds left, here's Bellegarde again trying to get on the board. Hasn't scored tonight, gets inside and finally puts it in. Alex Bellegarde gets his name in the scorebooks and cuts it to a 5-point game.
You know what? That's what he's capable of, and that's what they need him to do. He's just his first one tonight, but Hopefully next time they play Valley, he'll have a better effort.
Well, instant offense from Alex Bellegarde, and that's what Wayne Hills has been missing all night. And we saw in this fourth quarter, he's tried to step up his game and finally able to cash in against Della Ferra. And it makes these last 2 goals have made the score look a lot more respectable. But a run from Valley with 45 seconds to go as Hills just out for some blood right now as you see Benfatti and Fournier getting into it. So this will certainly be a highlight of the season for Wayne Valley. I mean, they're going to go to 2-6 now, which it's still early in the season, but if their struggles continue for the rest of the year and they don't have too much to hang their hat on, they can always remember beating their crosstown rivals in their own house in a night game. As Miola continues to battle, they're going at it hard as Fournier gets tangled up with Benfatti.
I told you to watch that.
So as the buzzer sounds, Wayne Valley beats Wayne Hills on their home turf by a final score of 12-7. Just a lackluster effort from the now 3-6 Wayne Hills Patriots. Guys, what can you say?
Well, if you're Hills, you're demoralized. I mean, you only put up 7. You lost to your crosstown rivals on your own turf. But you know what? Carry this over into the next game. You're going to play him again. You got that one loss in your head. Maybe it'll give you the extra motivation. And hopefully some of these injuries will go away and Chris Baselli and Casey Cardux will be back for that game.
Yeah, John, that is one thing that really stuck out in my mind tonight. The injuries really hurt this team. You have 2 of your, key components to your entire season. What everybody thought was going to be, a great season. Chris Baselli's out. Casey Cardux, who's going to play in college on a scholarship, is out. So missing those 2 components, that really hurts them. But then again, you look at this team and you look at amount of juniors and sophomores and even freshmen that are playing, and you see that you have a bright future ahead of you. So keep motoring. Try to make the best of what you can this year, but know that, not in the not too distant future, you're going to be a very good team.
Well, Ant, you said it best. You got to, keep your eyes on the future. If this season's going to go by the wayside due to injuries, there were high expectations coming in. 3-6 is not the way you wanted to start, and maybe those injuries might just be too much to overcome for Wayne Hills. But like Anthony said, a lot of underclassmen on this roster, a lot of underclassmen in this starting lineup. So there's a lot to look forward to if you're Wayne Hills in this program. It's a tough night tonight, but there'll be other games along the way against, like John said, the crosstown rivals one more time. So for everyone else on our broadcast team, Mr. Hookstrait, Ryan Katine, who always does a great job on camera. For our fellow announcers, John Giardello and Anthony Scadillo, I'm John Vitas saying enjoy your Easter and have a great night.